Hey everybody, welcome to Matt Men, your source for all things professional wrestling. I'm Andrew Zarian. I'm joined by Patient Zero, Rich Stambolian.
What's up, baby? Just call me the COVID kid. Bang, bang, bang.
The COVID
bang, bang,
kid
bang.
is back.
The COVID kid's back. I am drowning in COVID right now, guys. Seriously, I went to New York Comic Con and I got infected by whatever was there, and I feel like garbage. So many people at that show got infected, and it's wild. I think it was the legitimately, somebody took a dump on the floor of the Javits Center.
That did happen. Everybody was talking. So were
Yep.
you there for that?
I didn't see it, but that day I was definitely commenting about how stanky the place was. And then when I got home, a buddy of mine sent me the article, and I was like, I believe it. I believe pants shitting was happening all day there because it smelled like it.
We had actually planned to do a show on Thursday.
Yes.
From the club. We were going to do a show.
Yeah.
I think we'll do it in like maybe a week or two whenever,
Let's
you're
do it.
better. But it just things didn't align. You had Comic-Con, and then we had the Zarian fall party on Saturday.
Which was fun. I was there for that.
So are you a super spreader? Did you spread it to everybody?
I hope not. I hope on Saturday when I saw you guys are okay.
Because we were like all over each other.
I know, that's the thing. Like
a lot of drink sharing was happening. A lot of wet willies.
A lot of kissing. A
lot of kissing.
It was a bacchanalia.
Yeah, it was a great time. But you look good.
It was a great time.
You don't feel terrible. That was actually a classic party. That was a classic Zarian party. It was awesome. Nobody wanted to go home.
Nobody wanted to go home. It was fun. Thank you for saying I look good. I don't feel like that. I'm sucking it up. Like we did the thing that we just did. Great. I have about an hour left, and then I'm going to turn into the turtles before the ooze.
Oh, yeah, little tiny baby turtles.
I'm going to
very tiny. You're going to decompose.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we all could decompose. For people who don't know, we surprised everybody last night. We kind of leaked it that we had Billy Corgan coming on to talk about the NWA, and he brought up some interesting stuff, and he discussed some of this new deal that he has in place. That's going to drop later today. But I did embarrass everybody when Billy was on. Hey, Billy, there he is. He's still there. Look at that. He's still hanging out. I started singing the songs to him. You missed this, right? I started singing his own songs, but as a vampire.
Yeah, it was weird, man.
I told my rage, I'm still just a rat in the cage. I started doing all that. Tonight.
I step away from 2 minutes, and then that's what happens.
But you know what is amazing, though? Every time he comes on, every one of my friends starts sending me pictures of Billy Corgan because everybody's so fascinated by him. He is you know what? I got to tell you, I could talk to him for hours.
100%. 100%.
It's interesting that he's not everybody's cup of tea. He does get a lot of negativity. I've always had great conversations with him. You've had great conversations with him. Off the air we talk when he comes on, and it's beyond cordial. One of the nicest people we've had on the show. So
he's a human being. Guess what?
He's a human being.
Yeah.
That is. Are you sure?
I think so. He's a listen. Like one day we'll talk about it. But very sweet guy. Really nice.
Vampirism.
Super endearing.
One of the most disappointing things he ever told us was on that first interview. He told us that he, unfortunately, unlike what people imagine, he is not a vampire that hangs out in his basement.
That's true.
And that blew the whole character. I'm like, are you going to tell me the Undertaker's not a zombie either? Is that what you're doing, Billy Corgan?
Yeah.
Do you want to go into the news, Rich?
Let's do it. All right. Vince McMahon has no say in the final cut of the upcoming Netflix documentary. Per Bill Simmons, McMahon will get to look at clips, but cannot give notes before the final cut.
Yeah, so this is interesting. Vince is not at all involved in creative. I think that's a positive. He's done amazing stuff. That's not to say that he's not this, longevity-wise. Lorne Michael, he's not the same Lorne Michael that he was with SNL, in the 80s or in the 90s. Things change, especially when you become a billionaire that's not connected to what's going on in the world. Not saying that Vince isn't, but that mustache is very telling. The Vincent Price mustache.
It's a very disconnected mustache. If you show me, that is not the mustache of a person who's connected with the world, who has his pulse on the finger of society.
Yeah, I mean, it is a very dastardly mustache, but you know what? He's also a carnival barker, and maybe that's the whole reason why, right?
Sure, yeah.
When you saw that mustache, you thought it was fake.
I thought it was fake. I thought it was a Photoshop. You know what? To the point where, like, when somebody Photoshopped him in the purple do-rag after the Endeavor merger, I thought those were real.
I sent that to everybody. I sent that do-rag one to everybody, and everybody believed that is a real photo. I was like, I can you imagine? That is the greatest thing if you walked into the New York Stock Exchange with a purple do-rag.
What's up, my homies?
What's up?
What's up, my homies?
He can get in trouble very quick if he does that gimmick like he did last time.
Oh, wild. You know, we've never really talked about that, but like...
When he dropped the N-word?
Well, not that, but that whole lead up to it and the do-rag thing and being like the champ, like it was cringy then and it does not hold up. There's a lot of stuff that doesn't hold up. And this was like post-Attitude Era, right?
This was post-Attitude Era, yeah. This was right before PG, I think.
Wild.
Yeah, this was when he was ECW champion.
Right.
Like 2007, right? Somewhere in there.
What a sick man. I mean, he's out of his mind. Since the merger, like you said, Vince's title as executive chairman could possibly mean that he's focusing on other things, no more creative, which is positive. I thought this was a great Raw they had this week. I thought SmackDown was fantastic.
SmackDown was great.
I watched the most WWE in the last week and a half, like live, than I had in a very long time. Just my schedule's wacky.
Yeah.
But it was very good. WWE made Nick Aldis an on-screen character, become the general manager of SmackDown, and Adam Pearce will become the GM of Raw. Man, I would love to see Pearce wrestle again. I'd love to see Nick Aldis. I don't believe this is Nick Aldis's goodbye from the
final form.
I think this is gonna go into something else. The dude is a stud. Yeah. He looks great.
Absolutely.
He's young. He's not old. What is he, 36, 37?
I think so. Also, like as I was watching it, I did feel bad a little bit where I was like, ooh, he got like a kind of a lukewarm reaction. But that just shows you who that live WWE audience is.
Think about it. How would they know him? How would they know?
Right. They would have to have their finger on the pulse of pro wrestling.
Yeah. They have to watch Impact. They have to know that he was, in Impact. They have to know that he was the NWA World Heavyweight Champion. If you're a casual fan, and most of those guys are in that crowd, most of those families are, you going with, a great example, Rich. I know who Nick Aldis is. I go to the Garden. My kids are with me. My wife is with me. I'm the only one that knows. I'm the only one reacting. I'm like, oh, crap, it's Nick Aldis. My kids don't know. They're little. So
do you think that was a Cody suggestion?
You know what? I think there's such an organic story there.
Mm-hmm.
And they had that match that Nick Aldis had with Cody at All In, the first one, is what made Tony want to get into business.
Yeah.
And I thought that match was great. I thought it was such a great moment for Cody to win that title. I very much like Nick Aldis. I want to see them do a lot more.
Same here.
With him. So here's something fascinating. NWA has reportedly signed 2 TV deals with the CW. The deals are said to be for NWA Power and a reality show. We had Billy Corgan on just 10 minutes prior to recording this. That we're live now. We're live, pals. If I do it, I summon Garrett. You want me to do it? We're live, pals. We're live, pals.
Is that what you do at the beginning of the show? Do you go, it's all things pals wrestling?
All things pals. We had him on right before this, and he couldn't say the network that they're on. But he did say it's under the top 20 of networks on television.
Yeah.
I think it's it is listen, from what I've heard, it is the CW. I was kind of smartened up to this by somebody on Twitter. This was actually fascinating. This doesn't happen too often. People ask me all the time, like, well, who do you talk to? How do you get stuff? I don't generally get scoops sent to me in a DM. And that's how I was given this.
Yeah.
And I just didn't have an opportunity to talk about it. And it came out a couple days later that, they're going on the CW. I think this is big. I think this is great. CW's bringing professional wrestling back. WPIX. That's where didn't the NWA air on WPIX here in New York?
I don't know. But WPIX did have I want to say they did have wrestling back in the day.
It
in
did.
some capacity,
I think it was
right?
WCW. I think it was WCW. You know who would know? Somebody else in our chat that we're not going to mention.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, we can't mention him, but I think he would know.
Yeah.
I think this is a good move. I think this is big for Billy. I think this is big for the NWA. I hope it does well. I hope the CW brings other shows back.
Yep.
Like the Gilmore Girls. I would love to see what Rory and Lorelai are up to.
You're a big Gilmore Girls fan.
I love the Gilmore Girls, dude.
I know. People don't realize that. That is not a lie. You are a gigantic Gilmore Girls fan.
I loved Veronica Mars.
Or is it Gossip Girls?
I love Gossip Girl.
Okay.
Love Gossip Girl. Dan sucked. Dan Humphries is a loser in that show, okay? I'm just letting everybody know. What a loser gossiping about what the teenagers are up to, okay? Sick man. I'm just letting everybody know. No, this is big. You think? Give me your thoughts on this.
I think it's really cool. I want to see more wrestling everywhere, regardless if it's anybody's cup of tea or not. We mentioned that in the Billy Corgan interview too, where like, if you think about it, besides your big two shows, you have Impact, you have NWA, you have Heels on Showtime, right? You have the OVW documentary on Netflix, and you have the Iron Claw movie coming out. Like, we're surrounded by wrestling.
Yeah, big time.
Right? Big time. And, if that Hogan production didn't get stalled, we would have a Chris Hemsworth Hulk Hogan movie, Like, it's out there. I think it's also, like, I think the people making this stuff are... like, we're in the same age group,
Yeah.
Much like with like action figures and comics and comic book movies, where like, the people who are in our age group now are in positions to do creative. And I think that's why we're seeing kind of like not a resurgence of pro wrestling, but like a new upsurgence of like, hey, there's wrestling everywhere.
Yeah. Also, One Tree Hill needs to come back. Okay. That was another great show that I watched.
I feel like if you were a little younger, you'd probably be a huge Supernatural fan.
I never got into Supernatural. I never got into Smallville. Didn't like Smallville. Didn't like Supernatural. You didn't like Smallville?
Nah.
Yeah.
Not a big Smallville fan.
But big One Tree Hill fan. And I'm just going to let everybody know, Dan Scott was not the bad guy there. Okay. They treated that poor man terribly with his bad heart. Okay?
Were you a Dawson's guy? Were you a Dawson's Creek guy?
No, did not like Dawson's Creek. Not for me.
Were you an Ally McBeal guy?
I watched it if it was on. Didn't love it. I was not a big Ally McBeal fan.
Felicity. I peg you as a big Felicity
fan. I
fan.
watched it a little bit. I was dating a girl that was into Felicity. Homeboys in Outer Space, one of my top shows on the UPN 100%.
Network. Well, you had Homeboys from Outer Space, and then you had the one with the two brothers also.
Yeah, the Waynes boys.
No, not the Waynes brothers. The other two aliens from outer space that were brothers, and when one of them got horny, the other one started smoking, like, from his body. I don't know if you remember this one.
What show is this?
It was on Channel 9, and it was about these two brothers from another planet, and when their whole thing was like, if they were horny aliens, but if one of them got with a chick, they'd start smoking from like under their collar. So the other one would feel the effects, and one of them would get laid. It's like, I forgot the name of the show. They came from outer space.
They came from outer space. Okay, well, I googled horny alien UPN show, and nothing came up.
Uh-oh.
What about Charmed? Wasn't that on the
Charmed? Okay.
Never
Buffy.
watched Charmed.
I like Buffy.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Didn't care for Angel. What was the other one? Was that Angel where the two brothers were like hunting down paranormal stuff?
That's Supernatural.
That's You know what? I did watch some Supernatural. I did watch some. Yeah. They were like, one was a clairvoyant and the other one was like a witch.
Yeah, and oddly, both of them were very handsome.
And oddly, they were very, very handsome. The mother was like, the mother had died, right? And the father had taken off.
Something like that.
Yeah. Back to wrestling.
Back to pro wrestling.
Sorry, we spoke to Billy for like an hour.
Man, we're giddy.
We're giddy now.
I'm also barely holding it together. So.
I know. I'm sorry.
No, it's not your fault.
ROH announces final battle will take place December 15th in Garland, Texas.
Sweet.
Note, this is the traditional week that they usually run the show. So now the big question is, what the hell is going on at the end of December?
Well, why don't you tell us, Andrew?
Originally, I was told that AEW will be holding... This is, I mean, word for word, right? Because I never published this because, I couldn't I couldn't grab a hold of it.
Right.
I was told before a while. I mean, this is like now a month ago. Yeah, over a month ago. 6 weeks. AEW was planning on running a show at the end of December, and it could have possibly been a Friday show. Then Mike Johnson, PW Insider, reported that they are running a show December 30th, AEW. Then I was told the show's taking place in the tri-state area. I don't have, if someone, listen, I could talk to Sean, I could talk to Dave, I could talk to Brian, maybe they could confirm it. I'm just not being, nobody can confirm this with me right now. So either it's nothing and it was all bullshit, or they're being tight-lipped about it. But there is a possibility December 30th, it's a show in the tri-state area. I would imagine if it is in the tri-state area, New York, right? I would say the Coliseum would be the only one that could probably do this.
You think so?
Yeah, because they're not running the Garden. They're not running Brooklyn.
Yeah.
Unless they run the Hammerstein. But the cost versus what you can make running a different building is different. I don't know. And again, I don't feel confident saying definite, 100% that this show is happening and where it's happening, but I can say that I've been told by multiple people this. So I just can't get a true, nobody could really be like, no, it's 100%, These are people in AEW, these are people on the Warner side, these are people that know things, I would imagine that the Coliseum would be the best place for this. I don't know if UBS is able to be used, but you know what? If this is like an MJF moment, man, what a great thing. You end the year, you do the Nassau Coliseum in your hometown.
Oh, for sure.
I think that would be very cool. But December 30th, weird night.
Yeah.
New Year's Eve.
That's a Saturday, right?
That's a Saturday. Billy Joel is running the Nassau Coliseum on the 31st.
Are you going to go to that?
I've seen Billy like 20 freaking times. Not 20 times. I've seen him 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, maybe 9 times.
Did you go to the residency at MSG?
Yeah, I went to a bunch of them. You went uptown riding in your limousine. No?
I want to see you write some. I want to see you write some song stories like Billy Joel, but about professional wrestling.
About professional wrestling?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It'll be sad songs about CM Punk.
Oh yeah.
You broke my heart and ate my muffin. I could write a country song about him.
Oh, that's pretty good. I like that. You broke my heart and ate my muffin.
Yeah.
Good segue. Speaking of Punk, we got to do a little upkeep from last week.
Yeah.
Because we didn't do a show last week. WWE apparently decided against hiring CM Punk. This comes after last week's report that two sides were in negotiations for him to return. What do you make of this?
Yeah, that they spoke, right? People spoke to him. This was from his camp. I don't know what that means. Like, I don't know what his camp means, right? Like, who is that? How many people? But people within his camp, I'm using hand quotes here, had suggested that he was willing to go back and they were in talks. Like you said, this comes out last week's report that the two sides were in negotiations for a return, but then Dave said no. The decision was a no. He wanted to go, and the decision was a no. I mean, it can't always change, which it can, but the decision was a no.
Yeah.
Interesting. And I guess, listen, man, it's compare and contrast, right? Your pros and cons. Would it be a great short-term thing? Yeah, I think it would be tremendous for them.
3-month contract. Absolutely.
3-month contract. I was about to do it, Rich. I was about to do it. It happened.
What are we going to do?
It happened. I don't think he'll do. I think what the best thing for him would be like, okay, listen, this is what we're going to do. You're going to come in for a program. You do the program. You go away for a little bit. You come back a couple months later. You go away. They could do the Roman thing and keep them isolated, but they thought that this would mess up their plans.
Okay.
And already that Rock thing dangling in front of everybody kind of puts everything into limbo.
Yeah.
So you incorporate CM Punk now in this mix, or maybe you bring him back after Mania. Don't reward him with a WrestleMania now. Don't reward him with a Rumble in the hot season. You want to see how strong he could be to lead you into the summer? Have him show up. Imagine Cody wins the title at WrestleMania, right? Let's say that's the match. He wins the title. big celebration the next night. CM Punk's music hits.
That would be cool. My fantasy booking would be he's the last man on a 5-man Survivor Series team led by John Cena. And then he's there until WrestleMania, and WrestleMania will be his last show.
Yeah, I mean, listen, man, I'd love to see it. I want to see cool stuff in wrestling.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
but it's up to the guy. It's up to them, right?
Yeah. This is from last week since we didn't do a show. That NXT, Title Tuesday, the Tuesday Night War was more like a slaughter. 921,000 viewers for NXT. They went back down this week, obviously, but that was a big loaded show. AW did 609,000 viewers last week, and this week they went up 300,000 viewers, by the way.
Right, they're very close to 1 million.
I mean, it's a... You know, it says something, right? When you start doing consistent good matches and you're building programs, and we're going to talk about this card because I thought it was a very good show last week.
Yes.
I had to delete this because all I see is horny on my screen and I'm getting nervous.
Uh-oh.
Because I was looking up horny aliens on the UPN network.
Is Harry coming through your computer screen?
I think Harry might be at Exotica.
Oh, yeah. We're all going to Exotica, right?
I think we are. I think we are all going to Exotica.
I cannot wait, to be honest with you. I just want to see. I can't wait because I want to see Jonathan lose his mind.
Oh, Jonathan's we're going to have to hose him down.
Do you want me to work security for you know who?
You know what? I think I may have to. Yeah, you may have to.
I'm cool with that.
All right.
And then just run. I'm a terrible security guard. I'll just run away.
What are your thoughts on Iron Claw, man? That trailer looks great.
The trailer looks dope. Really good cast. You know, like I like that the bear is in it. I like that the bear is one of the brothers.
The bear is one of the brothers, and he is jacked.
Yeah, Jeremy.
I think he's Kerry, right?
Yeah, he's Kerry. Yep.
Yeah. See, he's the bear to you. He's Lip from Shameless to me.
Okay.
Yeah, he got jacked.
I'm excited to see it. I think it's an A24 movie,
dude,
so like it's gonna be good.
Yes.
How insane does I was going to call him Zach Galifianakis. That's not his name.
It would be awesome if Zach
Gowen is not his name either.
Zac Efron.
Zac Efron. How insane does he look? He looks like a fucking caveman.
He's Kevin, right?
Yes.
Is he Kevin? Yeah, he's Kevin.
Yeah, he's Kevin. I would love Zach Galifianakis as Kevin Von Erich.
that opening shot.
Movie. That opening shot where he's bouncing off the ropes.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah. You know what? That is cool. that you know, sometimes listen, film is amazing, right? Sometimes you're able to take a moment like that and make it into something tremendous based on how you're shooting it, and other times it means nothing. That meant something, and that trailer worked. The soundtrack works. Very cool stuff. You know, it was to the point that my wife is like, I want to see it.
Yeah.
Great. I hope it does well. I'm looking forward to seeing this movie. Stardom is holding a January 4th show prior to New Japan Wrestle Kingdom. Stardom wrestlers won't be taking part in Wrestle Kingdom card, but they're going to be on before. They'll get their own show before. You want to read what they're getting a new? No, don't delete it. Don't delete it.
Oh, no. I already read what that said.
Yeah. What did that say?
But they will get their own show before Wrestle Kingdom. He spelled it Russell, like the name.
The kingdom of Russell.
Wrestle Kingdom. What's going through your mind?
Yeah,
we definitely need a John Taffer.
Yeah, we do need a John Taffer here. It'll take place in the Tokyo Dome, Tokyo Dome City Hall, which is right next door to the Tokyo Dome.
Cool.
Yeah. WWE SmackDown. Some quick notes. LA Knight challenged Roman Reigns at Crown Jewel. Nick Aldis was named the general manager of SmackDown. Charlotte gets a title shot against Io Sky next week, which is tonight. Jade Cargill made an appearance. She's everywhere. She's floating around everywhere, doing these backstage confrontations. Yeah. Love it. Roman would end up spearing LA Knight to close the show, so we'll see what happens tonight. Notes from Raw. Michael Cole took a rare week off. Kevin Patrick was in his place. Michael Cole, you know what? He grew on everybody. Remember how much shit this guy got as being a stooge and being a terrible commentator? And I think people realize now how talented he is and how good he is.
But he was always good. That's the thing.
He was always good, but he was WWE good. But every time, like, you had like a moment when they did that show in Japan and he did not have anybody in his ear and this dude was calling moves, he was unbelievable.
You know what I think it was? I think people went from seeing him get harassed by The Rock to being on commentary, and they were like, why do I got to listen to this guy? The Rock was making fun of him.
JR, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Shinsuke Nakamura and Ricochet had an awesome last man standing match, which Shinsuke won. They set up a fatal 5-way to Rhea's title at Crown Jewel against Nia Jax, Shayna Baszler, Piper Niven, and Raquel Gonzalez. Jade Cargill confronted Becky. That was a cool moment, and just shows you how freaking impressive she is. The best match of the night, Gunther defeated Bronson Reed to retain the IC title. This was fantastic. The Judgment Day, Finn Balor and Damian Priest defeated the Usos. The Usos. Cody Uso and Jey Uso. The Uso boys.
Call them the Us2s.
Us2s to win the title back. Jimmy Uso interfered after Roman told him on SmackDown to fix it.
Honestly, one of my favorite pressers of all time was him and Cody and Jey Uso with the titles.
Dude, that was great. They were zooted, dude.
It was awesome.
They were feeling no pain. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. You want to go to Halloween Havoc, Rich?
Sure. Halloween Havoc will be a 2-night event starting this coming Tuesday and ending on Halloween night. Night 1, let's go into a couple of these matches. NXT Women's Championship, Becky Lynch defends against Lyra Valkyria. That's going to be fun. How long do you see Becky holding this belt?
I don't know, but it's working for them. So I think she should hang on to it for a while.
Yeah. NXT Tag Team titles, Tony D'Angelo and Stax defend against Chase U. Cool. Lights out match, Gigi Dolan and Blair Davenport. That should be fun.
Cool.
Devil's Playground, Roxanne Perez versus Kiana James. Lexus King makes his in-ring debut.
Can we talk about him?
Brian Pillman Jr.
Can we talk about him?
Yeah.
What do you think of the name?
You know, after seeing the origin of the name, you can't complain about it, right?
I hope he does well.
Yeah, same here. And like just him coming out and saying like I ain't no junior, that kind of solidifies it. But I hope he does well. I could see him with one of the belts sooner than later, right? Like the North American Championship, let's say, like sooner than later, right?
Yeah.
NXT Women's Breakout Tournament, Lola Vice versus Carmen Petrovic, and the other semifinal, Ariana Grace versus Kalani Jordan.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Dynamite last week. Thought it was a really good Dynamite, and the ratings showed it. Jay White defeated Penta in the opener.
Great match.
Great match. Very good match, but not the match of the night.
No, oddly enough, right?
Oddly enough. Great match, but not the match of the night. Shida and Emi Sakura in a women's title eliminator. Renee Paquette had a backstage interview with Adam Copeland. He talked about growing up with Edge and how he had to motivate him to go to wrestling school. He also talked about Edge's first opportunity in the business. They're telling the story, Christian's first opportunity in the business.
Andrew's struggling with that, by the way.
Are you?
I haven't stopped calling him Edge.
You've got like you've got facial dysplasia between Adam Copeland, Christian, and Edge.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was a good interview.
It was a good interview. I think Renee's fantastic. Wardlow defeated Ryan Nemeth with one power bomb, and the ref called it. He had MJF written on his wrist, and also shoulder bumped Tony Schiavone. Clearly, he's a heel. So why did he have MJF on his wrist? Because he's coming back for the title?
Or you think he's going to be MJF's like tag partner in some regard? Since Adam Cole's banged up.
I think they're setting up a bunch of challengers.
And I think that's a good story. It looks like what they're doing is they're setting up all these people to go against, challenge for the title, and Adam Cole is nowhere there to help them.
Yeah.
Right? I think that's a great story to tell here. Kenny Omega, who said his win-loss record had been quite putrid lately, and he thanked Kyle Fletcher for challenging him to remind him just who he is. MJF interrupted, reminding Kenny that in 13 days he would overtake him as the longest reigning champion in AEW.
Yep.
So you're setting that up too, right? You're setting up Kenny Omega.
Absolutely.
So right now you have Wardlow and you have Kenny Omega. More to come here, right?
Samoa Joe as well. On
Samoa
Collision.
Joe as well. Yeah, Samoa Joe on Collision. So now we have 3, and whoever else. Jay White, 4.
Yeah.
Yep. That's the pay-per-view. So yeah, right there.
Kenny Omega, Kyle Fletcher. This was great.
What a match.
What a match. This was a great Kenny Omega classic match. Kyle Fletcher did unbelievable. The commentary was great for this. Don Callis on commentary talking about how great Kyle Fletcher is, and the second he loses, he turns on him and starts calling him a loser was so good.
Yeah.
So good. Great match. Lance Archer defeated Barrett Brown in a squash. Lance Archer's back. So here's what happened after this. Sting comes out, addresses the crowd. He said his first retirement didn't sit well with him. I guess this is 2015.
Yeah.
Which I guess he's right. It should not have sat well with him. And this time he wanted to do it the right way. He thanked people for helping him along the way, including Lex Luger, the Steiner brothers, Buff Bagwell, Dusty Rhodes, Hulk Hogan, who got booed.
Flair.
And Flair. And he announced that his last match will be at Revolution 2024. Who does he face?
You want to hear my fantasy booking? You ready?
Yeah.
All right.
Realistically. Oh, God.
No.
No, it's not realistic, but it's Rich's
It's not realistic. I texted MG this last night, and he was like, "Yo, you're a genius." All right, because MG Geek is our resident Sting guy.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, you are a Sting guy. You're a stinger. You're a stanker.
You're a stanker.
I had a great joke. Do you want to hear my great joke before you go into this? I thought about it today in the shower, okay? You know how WWE has Kevin Dunn?
Yeah.
For their producer and director? You know what we have? Kevin Dumb.
I thought you were gonna say Kevin Dunce.
Kevin Dunce, that's who we have.
Sorry, MG. Where's Jonathan with that womp womp noise? So somehow between now and then, Kenny gets the belt off of MJF.
Okay.
Right? Retirement match.
Sting wins.
Sting versus Kenny Omega for the title. Sting kicks out of the one-winged angel.
Nice. Okay.
Destroys Kenny Omega.
He's the one. And he does this?
He's the one. Yeah. Does the whole 9.
Yeah.
Takes the belt and then retires with the belt. And now there's a tournament for the belt.
Okay. Great. You know what?
Well,
You love a classic, the good guy goes out on top and he forfeits the belt. You love that.
I love that.
You know what? I think it should. Nobody does it anymore. When is the last time that happened? Edge?
Oh, my God.
Edge wrestled at WrestleMania, and then he retired right after with the belt.
Mm.
It never happens, but I when it does, it should mean something.
Danielson?
Yeah, but Danielson didn't. They didn't hand him the title to retire with it. Like it's almost like Flair's retirement match should have been for the title, and he wins it and he gives it up.
Right.
You know, I like something like that. I know it's hokey. Some people don't like that. I like it a lot. I love that because you're honoring the person. People go home happy. It's a very happy moment.
What would your ideal fantasy booking be? Realistic and mine's a little unrealistic. Let's be honest here.
I don't know. Is it him and Darby? Does he give the rub to Darby Allin and they have a match?
That's what I thought it would be.
But I don't know how much that would help Darby because Darby's already has his thing going. You know what I mean? Like I don't know how much that would help him. It should be a big match.
Do you get
maybe Goldberg? Maybe you do it.
Oh boy. Do you get an I'm sorry I love you moment with Sting?
And Darby kicks him in the face?
Or like coffin drops him?
Coffin drops him out of nowhere? I don't know. Mm-hmm. Yeah, dude, we got to see this guy wrestle. And you know what's funny? I'm not upset he's retiring. I'm not happy he's retiring. I think he was a great. This run in AEW was fantastic. I don't think people expected him to do anything that he did.
I call it closure.
He gets a great reaction. People didn't get sick of seeing him because it was done properly.
Yeah. What about you get a make good and his last match is Sting Jeff Hardy?
Yeah,
I don't hate that. Maybe I don't hate that at all.
To make up for it.
To make up for that TNA debacle that happened a few years ago. Or Edge.
Like 15 years ago now.
Yeah. Maybe Edge. Maybe do Edge. You could do a lot.
But does he wrestle up until Revolution? Or is
no. I think he's going to wrestle up until Revolution.
Yeah, they're going to set a story up for this, I think. They got 5 months to do it. Yeah. Plenty of time.
Jim Ross. Backstage sit down. I love that he does these. These are great. Yes. I think that's a great way to utilize him. With Nick Wayne and his mom, Christian interrupted. It ended up Nick Wayne saying that his mom is terrible. It also ended up with Nick Wayne chipping his tooth during the brawl. I guess he fell on his face on the floor and he chipped his tooth.
I think that was a well-placed blood capsule.
No. He really chipped his tooth.
He did.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And the best part was he sold it. He kept going with the angle, and he was crying to Christian how, like, Dad, he chipped my tooth.
Yeah. So good.
Good stuff.
Tony Storm's second silent film. It played during the picture-in-picture segment. This is great. I like this. You have no idea what's going on, but you're kind of focused in and you're staying for the commercials.
Right.
And the main here, Juice Robinson won the Dynamite Dozen Battle Royale. Last eliminating Max Caster. Max tried to get his title back from Jay, but it was hit with a low blow. Bullet Club Gold ends the segment on top. And that was Dynamite. I thought it was a very good Dynamite.
Yeah.
But here's the thing, right? They sold a lot of tickets for this thing last minute.
Mm-hmm.
AEW Rampage airing tonight. Friend of the show, Rocky Romero, against Mystico in a battle for Mexico's pound-for-pound crown.
Awesome.
Claudio Castagnoli and Wheeler Yuta will be in action. Sky Blue and Ruby Soho. Brother Zay, Kip Sabian versus Kip Sabian versus John Silver. And the winner will face Orange Cassidy at Battle of the Belts for the international title. AEW Collision. Ricky Starks and Big Bill defend the titles against Claudio Castagnoli and Wheeler Yuta. Miro versus Action Andretti. And we have Battle of the Belts that follow right after. The Acclaimed and Daddy Ass defend the Trios titles against Daniel Garcia, Matt Bernard, and Angelo Parker. Chris Statlander defends the TBS title against Willow. I think they're turning Willow heel.
That's good.
Well,
that's an interesting move.
She was one of the ones that got misted.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, she's poisoned.
There's a whole creepy faction happening, I think.
Yeah, Orange Cassidy will defend the title against whoever wins the John Silver, Kip Sabian, and Brother Zay match. Dynamite next week. Tony Khan has a gift for Sting. What do you think that gift is?
I think it's going to be one of those cans that has like a bunch of the springy snakes in it.
Oh, yeah, that's a great gift.
He's going to old school joke on him. But first, he's going to shake his hand with a joy buzzer.
Oh, yeah. And then he's going to do the flower.
The boutonniere.
Yeah, the boutonniere. Tony Khan has a gift for Sting. Rob Van Dam and Hook will be in action. Another friend of the show. MJF defends the Dynamite Diamond Ring against Juice Robinson.
Great.
All right. We got little plugs, and let's do a Q&A. We're doing a quick show today, right? This is a quickie?
Yeah.
Because I know that you're sick.
Yes.
Let's see. Billy Corgan interview should be up later today. Matt Ryan is hosting UFC 294. Watch along on this channel at 2 p.m. tomorrow. You can come onto the Mattman page and watch him do his commentary. And you know what? He's a fantastic commentator. I think people are shocked how good he is. I don't think people realize when they tune into these things. Also, like and subscribe. Let's do our questions, okay? We're going to go about 10 minutes with these questions. Submit them in the chat room. Use the hashtag AskMattman, and we will do our best to answer them.
MG, can you handle putting the questions on the screen?
Yeah, we don't have a lot yet, so people start getting questions in.
Guys, get your questions in. If you want to super chat us, your question will be answered first. If you don't want to super chat us, that's fine. We're not your dad. You can do whatever the hell you want. But let's try to get this going for the next 10 or 15 minutes.
Yeah. All right.
What do we got first, MJ?
All right.
Sting versus the Seinfeld crew in an anything goes match. Book the match and the finish. This is from MCASP.
Yeah. Sting versus Kramer in a coffee table match. Okay, but the coffee tables are actually books.
Okay,
that's the match.
Sting, I would say for me it would be Sting versus George. Like George somehow pisses him off.
Jerry,
and
the Stinger's coming after me.
Hey, what did you do? He's the nicest guy in pro wrestling.
What did you do?
What did you do to him?
No, he insulted his face paint.
Oh,
he is like, are you a clown?
Oh, are you here for the kids' party? Are you the clown?
Yeah.
There you go. Sting versus RoboCop versus Jerry and Elaine. Sting and RoboCop versus Jerry and Elaine.
Sting and RoboCop versus Jerry and Elaine. Okay. What else do we have?
MG. What's next?
Hold on. I have to take this. You continue.
Sure. This guy's leaving. What do we got?
Derek,
Why won't Derek? Derek, our friend, why won't Matt Riddle return my calls? You know what? That's a good question. Are you sure you have the right phone number?
He's got time on his hand.
I imagine it like it's almost like the Eminem Stan video where Derek keeps calling and leaving messages like Stan did, and you hear like the Dido in the background.
Yeah. So for people that don't know, Derek, way before he was Matt Riddle was with WWE, he was like the biggest fan of him, and it was a running bit on the show for like years gone by. So nice to see him back.
What's next?
We got one here. This is your thoughts on Nick Aldis being SmackDown GM. Seems like WWE not only interested in signing AEW wrestlers. I'll surprise if WWE signed NWA wrestlers.
I'm going to try to make heads and tails of this one. I think Nick Aldis being the SmackDown GM is a lot of fun. I like Nick. Do you want to do this question together?
Yeah. What is it? Let's read.
Your thoughts on Nick Aldis being SmackDown GM? Seems like WWE is not only interested in signing AEW wrestlers. I'll be surprised if WWE signs NWA guys.
He's impressive, dude. He's a big dude. He's a good talker. He has a great look.
Yeah.
I think it was just things aligned, and he's there. I do expect him to wrestle. I don't think this is just a GM position he's going to do.
I think they're going to do a good setup for him, but they didn't pull that trigger with Adam Pearce yet, right? Because they would tease him having a match and not go through with it. I think Aldis having a match would be a lot of fun, especially if people don't think that he's a wrestler, let alone a former NWA champion. And I think as far as the other part of the question, I think now that the indies are kind of gutted, WWE is going to be looking for assets within actual pro wrestling, right?
Yeah.
Within the pro wrestling world, like AEW, NWA, maybe Impact, maybe New Japan, who knows?
Yeah. I think it's a possibility. We'll see other people sign too. I think they got a big roster though right now. I think they're looking for big names.
Yeah.
What else do we have?
Go ahead, MJ.
I'm working on it. Let's do this one. Top 3 matches of the year so far.
Oh man,
this is hard.
That's very hard.
God, that is so hard.
Danielson, Zack Sabre Jr.
Zack Sabre Jr. for sure. I can't think of it. Yeah, give me yours, MJ.
Yeah, I'm struggling too, but that one's on my list. If I go through them, I could probably find 20 of them. Danielson and the match from Collision the other week I thought was awesome with Danielson and oh man, who do you face?
It's tough. It's tough to pick because there were so many like banger matches. Like, you know what I would throw up there? Ospreay Jericho from Wimbledon.
Yes,
Wimbledon.
Wimbledon.
Let's see. Ospreay Kenny, fantastic.
Yeah.
The Wrestle Kingdom match was really good too, right? Yeah. Let's see what else. Oh yeah, Death Triangle and Kenny and the Bucks for the trios title. That was great.
That was great. Yep.
That was in January, right? The tag match at WrestleMania, fantastic. That was a great match.
KO and Sammy and Usos.
Yeah.
Yep, awesome.
Yeah, I thought
Sammy Roman at in Saudi.
I know a lot of people love the Anarchy in the Arena match. I thought it was a really good match. It's not one of my top favorites, but we've had a lot of good ones.
Yeah.
The Gunther matches are great.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, there was a couple of them in there that could definitely be on that list.
Wimbledon. That's when Jericho came out as a tennis prodigy. That's great. All right, what else do we have?
Let's see.
I'm exhausted.
I
was late to the show. Latest update on Punk.
We just did this, but yeah,
we just did this. It looks like WWE's not happening, or that's what they're saying. I don't know. Everybody's very quiet about this, so
yeah.
I don't believe. They're in Chicago. They've been doing a lot of his moves.
Exactly.
Maybe him and Nakamura is the program.
Oh, I would love it.
Yeah. I want to see CM Punk do a lot of the weird Nakamura things.
I would love that. You know what? I would like a CM Punk Nakamura tag team.
Oh, yeah. That's a wacky team.
Mm-hmm.
He just tries to go crazy on everybody, and Nakamura's trying to calm him.
CM Punk as the king of NXT.
There you go.
Oh, man. That sounds like a nightmare.
Just
more
just
young
another
people
plug.
to yell at.
Oh God! Didn't
More
even think
young
of it like
talent
that.
to yell at. I mean, that'd be great.
Just a
They
plug.
should do that, dude. They should make him a GM where he just scolds everybody.
Oh,
I wouldn't mind seeing that. He's a good aggressive yeller.
Yeah.
You know, even like that the scrum where he went bananas, you know, like great insults.
Empty-headed fuck. Dumb, empty-headed fuck. What a great, I mean, what a great insult.
Yeah, perfect insult.
that's just a plug here, but back to that Billy Corgan interview when he had some really good insight on CM Punk when
He did.
you guys get to listen to that later.
Yeah, that'll be up later. What else do we have? Let's do a couple more questions, then let's get out of here. What's the deal with Sting's retirement? He retires, then unretires, then retires, then unretires. Make up your mind. 2015 is the only you retire, don't retire. I don't know what's happening. Why is Sting here? Yeah. Oh, dude, I got a great one. Okay, all the spooky guys. Jordan. Okay, got a great one. Jerry's doing a stand-up thing, and he's like, I don't understand. Spooky? Why do you have to walk around like that? Like he does a whole thing, right? And now all the spooky guys in wrestling get insulted, and they start stalking him. So Crow Sting is in the alley. The Undertaker is standing there. Malachi shows up, and they're all like peeking through his window. Raven could show up with his flock.
Do you consider Raven a spooky guy?
He does poetry.
Okay.
So it's possible.
Did ECW have a spooky guy? Or was Raven the closest?
ECW, did ECW have a spooky guy? Oh, that's a great question. Sabu,
Right.
Could he be spooky? Taz is definitely spooky.
They never had like an over the top like gimmick like spooky guy, right?
No, they never did.
And it's funny too because arguably WWE did spooky guys the best.
WWE's done the best with spooky guys. Maybe that's Vince's thing. Maybe Vince is a big horror fan.
I think so. I think he's like a big Vincent Price Universal Monsters fan because look at
loves
that landscape.
A Frankenstein. He's like, we need more Frankensteins.
Look at Undertaker, Kane, the Boogeyman. Right,
Undertaker,
talk about a
Kane,
spooky guy.
Yeah.
Original Mankind was a horrifying spooky guy.
Papa Shango. Papa Shango.
Yeah.
Paul Bearer,
Evan
definitely
Thorne.
spooky guy. Malachi
Gangrel.
Oh yeah, the Brood.
Right. At WCW, I think they did like hokey spooky.
Oz.
Like
Oz.
Yeah, like Oz, the Yeti.
Yeti.
Right?
Oh no! Wait, what was Dustin's name when he went there? When he was the Powder character?
Seven? Is that the one you're thinking of?
I guess so. Seven.
Was it
Seven?
Seven?
Yeah. 7.
Mm-hmm.
7 was spooky,
but for like a day.
Vampiro was kind of spooky too.
Vampiro was spooky. Sting.
Yeah.
Crow Sting. But that's the only
Crow
one. Crow Sting was fine.
Isn't it weird that WWE does spooky the best?
Mm-hmm.
They have enough money to make it look great. Even when Sting returned in 2014, 2015, like, you know, they gave him some good spooky.
I want Goldberg to be a spooky guy.
Oh yeah?
Can you imagine that? He just
you know why it wouldn't work?
Like this?
Oh my!
You know why it wouldn't work?
Why?
He seems like he's really serious and doesn't care for the spooky stuff.
No, he hates it. I'm sure. He'd be so annoyed by it. All right, what else do we have? Let's do one more.
I got three more quick ones.
Okay.
Well, this one's kind of longer, so I got 3 more marked out.
I gotta go get my
this
kids.
one. Yep. Do you think
Sting will go back,
Go ahead.
go out on his back as a tradition, or will he win and get a rub? I don't know. That's what we were talking about. I don't know what they would do. I'm curious to see who he's in a program with. But I listen. I like a positive story. You know, he had this long career, and he leaves. He's done.
But that would be up to Sting and Tony, right? Like, do you think Sting is like, you know what, I don't really feel comfortable going out winning, but make it good. Or, you know, Tony's like, hey, listen, maybe maybe Tony's gift to staying next week is like a belt,
Maybe that could be it.
like a classic.
Yeah,
That actually
Spooky
makes
belt.
sense.
You know,
Okay.
like you're the so and so champion, like they did with. Didn't they have another belt in like TNA for the main event Mafia?
Oh, yeah, what was it?
Legends
The Legends title.
Yeah.
Right.
Mhm.
Like maybe that's it. Maybe he brings back like the Legends title and gives it to Sting. And that's what he defends his entire like people just come after Sting for the next 5 months.
Yeah, they could do that.
I got
Alright.
one quick WWE one and then one fun one to end it.
How do you book Carrie Sane's WWE return? I have her be part of Asuka's War Games team against Damage Control at Survivor Series, and then maybe feud with Bayley at WrestleMania 40. That's right, she is coming back, right?
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
the rumor. Yep.
I like
Mhm.
that. I don't hate it. I think it's a good idea.
Yeah, why not?
Just
Yeah, why not? Do it.
It's a
Just
good-
depends
it's a
on when
good-
they bring her in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Noob and Company.
Great idea.
Exactly. Great job.
Yeah, love that.
All right. This one's for Rich.
Okay.
Sure.
More or less, but kind of to cap off how we started the episode.
It's not wrestling related, but did you guys go to New York Comic Con? Also, have you been watching Loki season 2? Yes, I went to New York Comic Con and now I'm dying.
Yeah.
Because I got COVID at New York Comic Con, which is fine. It was a great weekend. And Loki season 2, I've not caught up yet. I saw the first episode. I got to watch everything again.
Yeah.
Are you a fan of the
I'm in
Loki?
the same
Andrew?
place.
The what?
The Loki
No,
show? You
No.
haven't watched it, or you just like
haven't
you don't
watched
care?
it.
It's good. Give the first season a shot. I think you'd really enjoy it. Your buddy Owen Wilson's in it.
Oh, great.
He's like, oh, great. Whatever.
Great.
All right. That's all I got for you
All right.
guys.
All right,
That's
I'm out
it.
of here.
All
I'm out
right.
of here. All right, guys. Thank you. Goodbye, everybody.
Later.